Have you always wondered how to change colour midway through a row in overlay mosaic crochet? Well, I'm here to help. I'm Gemma from Concrete Gems Crochet, and today we're going to do some colour changes halfway through our mosaic crochet. So I'm currently working on this blanket. It's a blanket with a wedding theme. I'm not going to show you the whole thing now because it's still a work in progress, but as you can see, it's got 3 colours used in it. So it's got the white, which is on one row, and then it's got these 2 colours, they're kind of 2 different shades of grey on the other row. So I am going to show you how to change colour as you're working across a row. So today I'm going to be using Brava Recycle from We Crochet. It's a DK weight yarn. It's got 306 yards per 100 grams. It's made of 100% recycled acrylic, which is lovely, and it's actually nice and soft. The only thing I'll say about it is that some of the colours are slightly different thicknesses, but it's really nice to work with, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm going to also be using a 4mm crochet hook for this tutorial. So let's get started, shall we? I'm first going to show you my chart that I'm working from. So here we go. Unfortunately, you get a bit of reflection from the light with it, but I think you can see that as we go across some of these rows, we've got like 3 dark stitches. So the X's are where we do the mosaic double crochets, and the blank without the X's are the single crochets in the back loops only. Obviously, if you don't know how to do mosaic double crochet, check out this link, and I'll show you how to do it there, but this is a little bit more of an advanced tutorial, as it were. So I'm going to be working across a row. I am on row 215 now. So as you can see, we start with a single crochet in the lighter grey, and then we do 2 mosaic double crochets in the darker grey. So I will show you how to do that. Let us get set up. So I've got my light grey and my dark grey, and I will find the end. Here we go. So I'm just joining through both loops for the very first stitch. So I've done that all the way across. So I wrap my yarn around and chain 1 to secure it, and then we're going to do a single crochet through both of those loops for the very first stitch. However, our second stitch was in the darker colour, wasn't it? So straight away we need to be changing colour. So I'm just backing up a bit, so I'll show you again. So for the single crochet, we insert into the stitch, yarn over and pull through, but we stop there. We don't do the final yarn over and pull through too with that colour. We're going to do that with our second colour. So I'm just joining that on there and pulling through like that, and we have joined our second colour there. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we carry the yarns along the back of our work, because otherwise we'll leave them behind and we won't have them when we need them again. So our second stitch is, where's that end? A mosaic double crochet. So we're going to go into that one, and actually I'm not going to include these 2 yarns into it this time, because it can, if you do, I can show you actually. So it's quite nice and neat like that, but if you undo that, and if I enclose all of these yarns ends into the stitch like this, it can end up looking a bit messy, so you get this extra bit pulling through, but I mean, in actual fact it looks okay. So generally, if I've got the first stitch is a mosaic double crochet, I will just do that one, and then I will capture them in the second stitch when it's also a mosaic double crochet. But you want to be carrying your ends along behind, okay? My pattern's just turned off. So after that, we've got, so we're going along here. So we've then got a number of stitches where the white covers over with the mosaic double crochets. Just done an extra stitch there. So we're going to carry on using the darker colour until we get to this last stitch here, and then we're going to change colour again into the grey. Okay, so here we go. So we're just doing single crochet through the back loops, capturing those ends as we go. Until we get to the very last one. Oops, before our colour change. So the ideal is to change colour behind a mosaic double crochet, but actually in this pattern that's not always going to be possible, but where we can we will. So I've got to the last stitch. I've done the first part of the single crochet without the last yarn over and pull through, and then I'm going to use my other colour to do that last yarn over and pull through, and then we can start crocheting with that next colour. And I'm doing a mosaic double crochet without capturing those ends, just so we don't get any black showing through in that very first stitch. And then I'm going to capture the ends in for the next couple of stitches. And it's the same when you move on to the single crochets, you still need to keep carrying your ends along so that you have them ready when you need them again. And you do get little bits where you can see the other colour poking through, but once you've finished you honestly won't notice that at all. So I've got another colour change here actually. I need to change into the dark colour for this stripe here. So I just undo that again and pull through with my new colour. Now the other thing you can do is, if you know that you're changing colour on this stitch, then you don't need to capture the ends, okay, because you're going to capture it with your change. So you can just do your stitch without capturing them and then pull through with your new colour. Okay, and that's how that gets secured like that. And then I again need to change colour here because the very next stitch is grey again, so I'm going to show you that. So I'm just going to do the first parts of my double crochet until the last yarn over and pull through. So you see I've done the first half of it already, and then pull through with the new colour. And if you make sure that you always have your one colour on one side and one colour on the other side, then it makes it a lot easier. So for example, when you're pulling through with the light colour, you pull it through at the front, and the other one you kind of cross it over and pull it through like that, and that really helps to not get your yarns all tangled up. I'll show you when I get to the next colour change. Just need to have a look while we've got up to. We are doing some single crochets in these three, and it's the same as the one below really actually, so that makes it nice and easy. Okay, so that's the end where I changed colour, where I joined the dark grey, just finishing off there. Normally I wouldn't say to weave in your ends as you go along, but actually in this technique it works quite well. Oh, blanket's all falling on the floor. Right, so I'm doing my last one of these, and you can see that my dark grey is on this side and my light grey is on this side. So I'm going to keep it on this side. If it was the other way around, I'll switch them around. If it was the other way around, I would come around the front of the grey like this to join it. Can you see that? So they're crossed, and if they're that way, I go behind the grey to join it. and that's how you stop them getting twisted up. So, oops, just have to make sure you hold on to everything as you're doing it, and then we go into the next colour. And that's it really. That is how you change colour part way along a mosaic crochet row. I hope that makes a lot of sense and you've learned something today, and I'll see you again for another tutorial really soon. Bye for now.